Got a busy week ahead of us. Guys, FOMC this week, heavy news all across the board. So what I'm going to be doing on today's session is really share with you what I see in the market here. And honestly, we have a lot to uncover. It's going to be a busy week. So I want to be able to position myself, give you guys my perspective so we can take advantage of everything that's going on. I'm about to share my screen and walk you guys through what I'm looking at. But for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mike Navarrete. I've been trading since 2015. I've been doing, stuff like this, streams like this since let's see, Q4 of 2017. So I was running the numbers, and I think I've done about roughly 2,000 live streams in the last 6-7 years. So super stoked to be here with you guys, walk you through what I do, give you a little bit of pointers as well when you're interacting with high volatile markets and how to keep yourself pretty composed. But yeah, guys, excited to be here with all of you, and let's just dive right in. And if you have any charts you want me to look at, if you have any perspectives, feel free. The chat's there for you to take advantage of, and we'll dive right in. This will be posted on YouTube for sure. So some of you, want to catch it again, review it over and over again, mark it up for yourself later on, feel free to watch the recording of this. So let's dive right in. Yeah. Let's see, where is the screen that I want to share? Here we go. All right. So we have tons and tons of news, and these are my favorite kind of weeks. Because this is where we get to work smart. Sometimes, especially if you look at your trading journal, you're going to notice that it's really 1 week. Every couple months, there's one standout week that really separates you, puts you over the hump, sets that difference. I don't know how many of you are documenting all your trades and going over it, but you'll notice that sometimes you're almost one good trade, right? High reward compared to the risk trade away from kind of tanking yourself over. And so, as you guys can see, we did have Australian news not too long ago, right? Just a couple hours back. Now, right now, I'm in Colorado. So my time zone here is Mountain Time. Now, what you're looking at is actually Central Time. So everything you're looking at right on the screen is Central Time. So go to forexfactory.com. It should show you the time here, and then you can just adjust it to where you are in the world. That way, you're just working and looking at the market at the right times. So we have quite a bit to look at. Now, we have pound news here in about 5 hours. So I won't be trading London session, right? That's not for me right now. But some of you might, especially if some of you are in Europe right now. Some of you maybe are in, I'd say West Coast, I think kind of tends to hit London session every once in a while. So maybe that's for you. I won't be focusing too much on that, but I will be breaking down a lot of dollar news events. If I have a bit of time at the end, I might go back and look at pound pairs because we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 news events. Might be it might be worth for me to look at just for you guys. And then Euro's gonna be pretty busy too. So we'll start off with the dollar pairs, and then we'll go from there. If you guys have some specific things you want me to look at, feel free to share. And when I say dollar pairs, really what I'm saying is things that influence the dollar. So we'll look at forex pairs. We'll look at metals. I know metals they're in really cool times right now. And then we'll also take a look at indices. All right. So indices for me is something that I trade, in the moment. So I'm looking at indices more so during New York Open. Let me know. Can you guys hear me properly? Let me know if this cuts out or anything. But yeah, I'm looking at the market for indices, and that's actually what I trade the most. But ironically, it's what I can share the least amount because it's not happening at the moment. So it is a little bit tougher for me to position you guys into indices, considering that it's a little choppy. Okay. Hold on. Let's see here. See if I can close a couple things. Okay. So we'll see if we go for good from here. But what I want to go over, and if you guys want to really plug in with me in the indices side of things, then just plug in on the live sessions that I host. That's where we really, it's even better because we can just not only execute in the moment, but also manage the trade when it's happening and all that good stuff. But let's dive into it. I'll start out actually with metals first, and then I'll dive into some forex stuff. Might dive into a little bit of crypto, but let's just dive right in. Now, this has been such a amazing movement here with gold and silver, right? Just epic. We saw the way that gold reached all-time highs, and we're able to see go through that price discovery, go absolutely crazy with the market. And I had a good entry. I'm actually still in a silver sell. It's not a big position anymore. I've scaled out, but it's just been so cool to see how this is unfolded. And so if you guys look at the previous sessions that we've had here, one of the things that you will notice is that we talked about why these were interesting ideas. And so the reason I felt good about silver sells, despite gold experiencing prices it has never seen, was specifically for that reason. Gold was at all-time highs, peak prices, when silver was perfectly lining up into a zone where I wanted to sell. And the reason the zone exists here is because there was a open order, right? There's an open buy order up here that I waited 6 months or so for. And so what we understand is, and especially if those of you are plugging in to the Smart Money Simplified bootcamp that I'm hosting this week, this was it. It's like, all right, well, here was liquidity. Here was the big push to the upside, and down we go. So we hadn't come back to close out this open buy position. So when price was all the way up here, about to reach and poke above, gold was also at those peak levels, but gold was way over here. So I really liked the silver sell, had my stop just above these highs. So I actually got pretty close to getting stopped out. And then, this has absolutely melted. So exactly, you guys know it. Trade the lagging pair. So that's what happened, and that's what worked out during this session. And now I do believe that we can get up here again in the future. I believe that we may see this. I don't know when we'll see prices back over here again, but based on how price has moved these last 4, 5, 6 days, this last week, I mean, you ask me, I think we're bearish with metals. Now the daily is bullish still, but the 4 hours is no longer, and the 1 hour, I mean, these are all bearish structures. So could we be in position for buys? It's not quite clear for me quite yet, right? We're back at prices we hadn't seen since mid-November. And so I do think that if we are going to see buy positions, I'm not sure if it's going to happen over here. The earliest, or the cleanest buy position that I see is all the way down here for silver. But we're looking at 22 flat, from 21.88 to 22. Okay. So this is what I see in terms of any types of reversals for buys all the way over here, right? This has been aggressive drops, very, very aggressive movement. And at this point in time, I mean, there's an order block right here. So you see the market kind of push down before it continues. We see that happening right now. So we're getting a little bit of a stall. That doesn't mean that the market's going to stay here and just go ahead and reverse, especially considering how much imbalance we have over here. I think we might keep going down. So in terms of entering the market right now, not quite there yet. So staying out, just letting the market show us its moves. Right now, chilling. Nothing too crazy here going on. All of this liquidity from these prices got completely cleared out already. So we got to see a lot of good reversals, but they weren't sustainable. And so now we're getting there. So silver almost there. I'd say considering what we've seen here, we always want to take a look at not just what's happening with one metal, but we want to take a look at both. So what is gold doing? And before I do that, I want to just see where we're at in structure. So we see silver here. It's been a giant pullback. This is more so on the daily level. All right, we're seeing a massive pullback here. So when we see that, you see silver has just gotten to that point where it's at 786. So what a pullback we've seen. Let's take a look at gold real quick. All right, gold, you can see that gold has been dropping, but nowhere near the same area, right? We see the lows that we saw in October, or actually we're looking at this structure, right? The one that we're seeing right now. So 786 for silver, but when we look at gold, here was the low from November. And if we use our fib, just to kind of get an idea, like where are we in structure, then you'll see that, gold has worked its way down as well. And it's also playing off of that 786. So this is getting actually pretty close to a level I had here for gold from a couple weeks back. And so let's take a look at what's happening here. All right, let's see what this has in store for us. So we see gold and silver playing off that 786, basically at the same areas. Could we see any reversals sometime this week? Remember, we have massive news events. You have tomorrow, which will bring you CPI news. This is going to be majorly influential for metals, indices, dollar pairs. Wednesday, we're going to have federal funds rates, right? Federal funds rate. See what happens there. We'll have FOMC statements, the press conference. Yeah, it's going to be a wild one. So the whole, also like the landscape of these pairs, of these assets can totally change. So right now we can look at the market in one way, but CPI hits and this can totally shift the structure. It can shift momentum. And so it's kind of, you have to be able to adapt to what's coming. It's not like, oh, here's what I think. Do I use MetaTrader? Yeah. What broker do you use? I legally can't share it with you guys, but do some research. Go into Google, look around, right? You guys will find your answers. Now, what I will say is this: if you are looking to put your money in the right place, as always, just like we ask ourselves to follow the money in these markets, do the same thing with anything that you're doing. Okay? Who owns what? Right? Who owns what? So that's all I will say to that. Make sure that you're just making responsible decisions. So with that being said, we have gold here, right? And we had this drop here with gold, and this was November 20th, right? This is Monday, November 20th. So this is 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't even know what date is it, 11th? Yeah, sorry, it's a few weeks back. So we're approaching this zone. Now, I can dive in here a little bit more and we can see is this reversal we're seeing right now, could that actually be the mitigation, right? Could this be the close of the sell and the open of the buy? We can dive into that and see if that's the case. Okay. But let's dive in here and see what's going on. So here, I even left a note because we were looking at this a few weeks back, and I said, pay attention to DXY liquidity before entering. At the time, and why don't I listen to myself? Let me go look at the DXY. and see, okay, why did I say that? And this is actually, I think this is what I was looking at. So back in November, yeah, this is right around these areas. Back in November, we saw that price was sitting pretty close. So in November, we had a lot of money, like equal highs over here. And there was a possibility for price to get above here before a key reversal. All right. So that's I think what I was looking at and what I was warning myself about is, hey, that could be a target for the market. Now, right now, you guys just saw DXY has another type of liquidity, which is this one. So we may see price spike above here. Now, if DXY spikes up, that means that gold should make another push down. And that may get us right into this area that we're looking at. So why did I draw this zone down here? Why is this a good reversal for us? So when we look at what we have seen here in the past, I mean, we can see we had an aggressive drop down here, right? Aggressive drop in the zone. Price got into here, and then, I mean, this moved. Gold is played off of this area almost 150 pips. All right, pretty close before losing momentum again, working its way back down. So could this be the buy of the sell? Well, let's see. So when I look back over here, I want to take a look at where did money really get introduced to the market? And so I drew a box over here. Why did I do that? What did I see here? Okay, so here's why I drew this out. So what I see here is the following. At this moment, this is Monday, November 20th, 7:30 a.m. Okay, now, and I want you guys to let me know. Let me know in the comments. Is that a relevant time? 7:30 a.m. Central Time on a Monday. Well, 7:30 a.m. tends to be a popular dollar news time. I can go to my calendar here. Yeah, I'm gonna go to November 20th. What's going on here? All right, November 20th, 7:30 a.m. There's actually nothing going on this day. Interesting. So I look at here, gold. This pushes down at exactly this time. And then for New York Open, it reverses. So these are still, even though there wasn't news events, right? Even though there wasn't news events at this time, unless I'm looking at the wrong year, but November 20th, 2023, November 20th, 2023, we do have one, it's a common time where we get volatility in the market, but also this is New York Open that reverses it. So you should have kind of like little signs and like, like alerts going off in your brain thinking, oh, okay, well, it makes sense for there to be big reversals at this area. So does that mean that we should see reversals when it gets back to this area? And I would say, yes, definitely. So we know that, okay, this is a key zone that price can reverse from. Okay, so I like buy setups in this zone. Now, the one thing that I want to keep in mind is this. If I am going to take a buy in this area for gold, could silver's price action influence this idea, right? Could something that's happening with silver make this gold trade fail? So when we look at silver, we see, okay, here's where we're at with silver. Silver has some imbalance over here, right? You see that the market just kind of skyrockets. Now we already did just reverse from this this area right here, right? Here's where we kind of had, if I zoom into this, and actually I will, you're going to see the market appear to stop here. Right there you see it. Right here. Actually, you might need to see it on the 30-minute, 15. So this right here, as the market's going up, when we go back to time, this is mid-November, market's going up, it's flying. You see this thing go absolutely crazy. hits resistance, and then you see a bearish candle. Now imagine that the rest of this doesn't exist, right? Imagine that you just see this. Right, you're seeing the market here, you're thinking, so you're thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe this might be a good place to sell. Resistance, at least the average trader. You know, look, this just went off like crazy. It's probably exhausted, it's probably exhausted, it's probably done. So this is an easy trap for retail sellers to get lured into the market right there. And then what happens? Next candle pops off. Sells here, gone again. And so right now, fast forward to the present, the market just rejected this specific area, but guess what? There's more imbalance here as well as there is over here. So when we go to the current price action, I do think that there's motive for price to come lower. I think silver can definitely work its way down. And that's all I want to pay attention to. So, all right, well, when gold reaches, where did gold go? When gold reaches this zone that I like for reversals, where is silver in its structure? If silver has filled its imbalance here, and it's kind of like playing over here, you know what? Yeah, why not take gold? So that's at least how I trade pairs or correlated assets, metals, indices. So kind of take a look at both and see, is there a reason that would invalidate my idea? And right now, I just want to make sure that, all right, silver has done its thing. Now gold has the green light for reversals. So in this case, I'm not really paying attention to DXY anymore. It's more like, it's obviously it's silver. Silver is a correlated asset here. So this area I like for reversals. That doesn't mean that that I'm looking for a swing trade either. One of the key things you want to learn about your trading style and is how long do you want to be in the trade for? What does your plan tell you? If I think that silver could reverse here, but then it still has reason to go even lower, do I want to be in a gold buy for too long anyways? Because I also have another valid zone for buying gold as well. So do I think we can see a reversal here? I think we could. But I'm not going to take this and swing it back to 22 or swing it to 2200. I might just, get a nice little trade in here. Get some, stay within a range. Because when you look at this, you're going to see, okay, well, this is kind of like the trading range that I'm in. Here's the previous high. Here's the current low. So how far do I want to take a trade for myself? All right, where do I want to take this? And what I will say is your risk to reward, you want to always think about, okay, what are high probability setups that are worth putting money on the line? That's it. Like what would I put money on the line for? Would I be willing to risk X amount of dollars to make 2.5 times more? I think that's worth it. Yeah. All right. If that's worth it to me, let's go. Let's take the setup. So that's what I want to consider. So something like this is what I like. When you see a movement like this, like for example, you might be thinking, okay, where in this zone should I take a buy position? I like to look, okay, what happened before these candles? Where did we see some pretty common reversals? And what I can show you is that we've seen the market reverse from this area quite a few times. All right, so right in the zone, we've seen the market find reversals here to the downside or to the upside. And you can zoom out more if you want. You can just look at all the common areas that we've seen price here. It's just been very, very constant over time. So I'm okay with taking a setup here. If anything, I'll move it up to 1970. Something like this. Good to go. I like the trade. All right. So up to you guys, of course, as always. So we'll leave it like that. You know what? I'll do 1969.5. So here we go. Now we have it. And this is my entry idea. So I don't need to go and take this to the top. I'm not going to assume, oh yeah, I definitely pinned the low and I got the perfect entry. Not really. Why? Because there's other areas with gold and with silver that are definitely still pending. Here we had a spike down and balance. We haven't closed out of this institutional order down here. So this is the one that I like for now. So here is gold. And as long as silver is feeling its imbalance when this happens, then we're good to go. So here is the setup. Plus our exit is within another range. I feel good about this kind of setup. So XAU, USD. Let's see. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, here we go. We're back. So I'm gonna drop this chart right in the chat. Let me know if you guys got this. USD. There you go. Okay, good to go there. First of many. Let's dive into a couple other things. Yeah, let me know. Let me know here what other setups you want me to look at, and I'll be more than happy to do so. GU, NAS. Let's take a look at GU. Let's take a look at GU. Let's start to go through the majors, right? Let's get the forex party going here. All right, so GU. Here we are. I was waiting for sells last week, and I wanted us to get into this area and then sell off. What happened was price did do that, but it dropped before I could get in. So we kind of had price, get back to this zone because we had a huge spike up, cleared some retail sells, and the market just went crashing down. Price got to this area, but instead of coming up to here, it just kind of left. Like it just worked its way down. Do I think that we might actually, maybe we didn't mitigate and we could see reversals up here again? It's possible, but the fact that we did get into this zone where a massive buy order was opened and we already did reverse, it's kind of giving me signs that this may have happened, maybe not. And even though it may or may have not happened, the best part that has helped me, I guess, avoid certain losses is detaching from any setup. So yes, there might be a setup here. Still, this could still be a sell. But what I do know is that I have seen cleaner setups, and there's a very good chance that not only will I see another clean setup, more valid than this one, but it almost happens every day. Since I trade indices, the chances of me seeing a clean setup, like just textbook, is pretty high. So I don't need to trade this. And that's my perspective with the market here. Like that's how I look at what's happening. So, I'm cool with just kind of staying out of this one for the sells up in this zone. I think even if it did or didn't happen, I don't need it. But what we can look at is what's happened over here. And price came very, very close to our zone over here. And we did see a pretty clean reversal. So I can either look at this and go back and say, okay, you know what, maybe, right, maybe the sell happened earlier. So I can look at this, go, okay, is there a chance that what I think is the institutional order, it maybe happened earlier than this? So we see two things happen, right? We see the market start to tank here, kind of stalls a bit, comes back up to here, and from here, we really do see the market work its way down. So this is kind of the last sell, especially because when the market does crash down to here, it hits support. Only after that does it really clear everything and then make its move. So, okay, this zone to me, because I just like to double check my work, all right, maybe I was wrong. And we look at here, we're about 5 pips away. So you know what? Yeah, I think this area is still valid. If we were to get into the zone, I could still be into some buy positions for GBP, USD in this area. I think they're still valid. Now, do I want to look at something else? Right? Is there another currency pair that I may want to look at just to double check, just to make sure that we're on the right page? So let's see here. Let's look at EURUSD. EURUSD just naturally more bearish. Euro has just been pushing its way back down. No changes in structure yet. Okay. So we saw last Thursday, price spikes up, clears out liquidity, works its way back down, creates more retail sellers, and then we're just seeing some sideways movement at the moment. Right? Sideways movement. Does that mean that I'm taking buys or sells? No, I'm actually just staying out of this. And EURUSD has been much more bearish than GU. So I have patience, right? A lot of patience for this. One thing that you'll also note is that the same setups that we're seeing GU have, which is all the way down here, because this is price action that we're basically looking to reverse off of November 22nd, Wednesday, November 22nd. We had some pretty big movements, and with GU, we're almost there. However, NZDUSD, it's got a long way to go. Long way to go. If you look at AUDUSD, November 22nd, this we already played off of. So I think GU is kind of in its own lane at the moment. I might have talked about this last week. I don't remember. You guys can tell me. But last week, we did see AUDUSD clear these lows on Wednesday, give us highs, higher highs here. Briefly, actually created equal highs. The market comes back down and it gets right into our zone, right at the very end here during New York Open. Price spikes below, misses entry by a little bit, and off it goes. So I wouldn't look at entering this anymore. I think this is a setup that already has happened. No need to revisit this idea. Just can kind of step away. So what we're noticing between these setups is that honestly, there's liquidity with AUDUSD, NZDUSD here, right? Has been bearish. And the one thing that we did see with NZDUSD was clear the highs, worked its way back down. But when NZDUSD tried making lower lows, it couldn't even stay down here. So we haven't even gotten a lower low yet with NZDUSD. So could we be looking for sells? Maybe, because we do see a big giant spike up here before the market comes crashing down. The problem with this is that we didn't get lower lows, right? The market didn't give us a confirmation that it wants to stay bearish. It actually loses momentum every time it's tried. So yes, we have, retail sellers, we have liquidity up here. You have a big move up that takes care of any of these retail sellers. The market comes down. it just doesn't really make a lower low the way I would want to. Not a terrible setup, but not a great setup. So take this, maybe look for secondary shifts in structure, then take an entry maybe. But for now, in terms of giving you guys kind of like a swing trade or maybe something that you can set up as a limit, it's a little bit risky for me because I just kind of want to see what else happens next. So as of now, I mean, none of these look great. None of these at all look great. Now, USDCAD, this is something we can talk about. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get here either this week. Now, when you look at USDCAD, does this look like a clean setup to you? I see sweep of the lows. The market then gives us higher high. Looks good here. And then while this is ranging, right, while this is working its way up, it's come back to specific places quite a few times. So we definitely can tell that there's money, there's equal lows, there's retail buyers lining up all over here. And so this looks good to me. Like buys in the zone look great. Now the question is, could we see, is there a way to get into a sell so that we can write it down to here? If I go down to the 15, let's see, can we kind of, position ourselves into sells? Not really. Market did just clear these highs and is working to make lows, so could be getting there. What I do have though right now and what is clean is this move here. This one is clean. So I like what we got here. I like what's going on. And where do you want to target for an idea like this? Where could you take something like this? Well, first we want to know, okay, where in this blue zone do we want to buy anyways? Anywhere in this blue zone, it's valid. Why? Because here is where price was pushed down to take out buyers and then the imbalance was made. So anywhere in this area, I think is great for buying. Here we had a little bit of support. Here we have a little bit of support. So this is kind of like the zone. Right there. Right in this area. So we're looking at 1.34, 92, 91, 90-ish. This range here. This is squeezing so much. Guys, what happens when the market moves sideways for an extended period of time? What ends up happening? Let's see. Money gets taken out. Sure. But specifically because it's moved sideways for a while. What is that? What could that lead to? A breakout. Longer it consolidates, bigger the breakout, it explodes. Exactly. The bank comes in, liquidity. So yeah, this is a buildup. This is building up a lot of money. So this has been moving sideways basically the majority of last week. So aggressive movements, very volatile price is coming here. So I like this setup. And let's say we just get into an idea here inside of this range, a reversal. A lot of times the market loves to come back to where it has had liquidity. And this is at least a conservative exit. And if anything, actually, we'll dial this down back a little bit. And here will be a 5-to-1. So USDCAD, I like this setup. For us to drop around 70, 75 pips, very doable. Very, very, very doable with the market conditions that we have right now. So here's USDCAD. So USDCAD and in gold are the main setups that I've shared so far. So again, institutional sell, clears out liquidity, imbalance is made, higher highs are made as well. And this is a conservative exit, intraday exit. Looks good. And especially this week, guys, this is the week where if you see imbalances, if you see, the market squeezing like this, it's going to be volatile. So with this kind of week, one of the things that I've done over the years is I've allowed myself to let my risk to reward stretch a bit during weeks like these, because these are the types of weeks that can allow the market to really travel because the excuse is there for the market to go heavy. Now, don't extend your risk to reward just because you want to make more money. Feel free to do so if the technicals give you the green light. Okay, so that was USDCAD. All right. Now we have USDCHF, USDCHF, very similar. Right? Very similar to USDCAD. If we look at this, I mean, looks nice. Like, if anything, I think USDCHF might even look a bit more approachable. So we can compare, USDCAD, USDCHF. You can see, okay, which one. And guys, key thing too, use alerts. Use alerts to know where you're at with the market. That way you're not just, glued to the screen. You're just, all right, cool. Oh, here's my alert for USDCHF or USDCAD. Now I can look to get in. So here, if I use a fib level to see kind of where I'm at with the market right now, USDCHF is above the 38.2. Okay. USDCAD is sitting at 38.2. My computer went like fully silent. It got really weird. Like it went just silent, and I was like, "Oh, did I just lose them?" So if I look at this right now, I actually would prefer USDCHF. Things can change. Okay, things can change, but at the moment, USDCHF has a lot more to go down. So it's more likely for this to stay inside of the range than USDCAD. Now, as the time goes by, we could look at this in 2 days, and USDCHF might be at 781.86, and then USDCAD can be a little bit higher. So that's why I just have alerts, because I just don't know. Since it could change, all right, you know what? Let me keep my eyes on both of these. Let's see which one of these two gets to our zone last. All right, that's what I want to keep in mind. And then this is where I would want to take an entry in, somewhere in the zone. Here's where I'd see support prior to this big sell-off. Here's where I would want to see some potential buy ideas. And then now let's look at the risk to reward aspect of a setup like this. So again, let's say we're looking at for some clean buys here, and we take an entry right there. Stop loss is right here. Then I can, take this for risk to reward. And okay, maybe I get out where we've seen previous levels of support. Maybe I get out over here. Maybe I take it to higher highs. So again, you want to have high probability exits. We'll just go with the 3-to-1 with this one here. We've seen a lot of strong levels of support in the past. Maybe the market just stalls there. Call it a day. So here's USDCHF as well. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? What's up, Argentina? USDCHF. There it is. Okay. So we have from there USDJPY. This melted off face of the earth. Like what a comeback. And you know what's amazing? I didn't have the re-entry confirmation except right there. But we talked about this USDJPY sell, and we were selling off of these previous open institutional buys here from October 2022, came right here and did the thing. But it basically made double top. So I'm curious to see if we're going to end up making higher highs again. I think it's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility right now. Especially because you see price wick down here and then lose all that steam. This may want to continue. In terms of entries right now, guys, nothing I want to see here. I'm okay with staying out of the market for now. USDJPY, I mean, maybe there's some buy setups over here, but a little sketchy considering how much it's chopped up back and forth over here. So I'm okay with just staying out of UJ for now. We do have this trending here. So you can see that there's a lot of retail sellers in this at the moment, just playing off of the highs over and over and over and over and over again. The luck will eventually run out on this trend line. All right. And that takes us back to metals, as we talked about, shared. Oil. Gas prices. Who's loving those? Who's loving gas prices right now? Now, could we go any lower? We saw this tank get to the zone, this level. Price here. Now it looks on the daily as if it's making lows, but we are getting actually like a structure shift here. Trading oil to pay for gas. Someone said they decent. I love UK oil. Cool. So looking at the way this is moving and looking at how this played out over a year, I think we might have another push down. Here we saw the spike down before it went up. Now, I don't trade oil often, but if I look at this here, and I look at what oil has done, and this is now back in June of 2023, we saw the market spike down, go up, come back down again, come back up and down, and then imbalance. So we see imbalance under 69, basically, and this is the area. Have we seen price get to this area recently? Look at that. Price got right down to what? 68.99. So we get right there. And then off it goes. Okay. Might be time for oil shorts to wrap up here. If you happen to be in some long-term oil sells, I say it's not a terrible idea. I'm not saying we can't go lower, but after dropping for a few weeks, we can see this come back up. Okay, that's oil. Now we did see some interesting plays here with crypto. All right, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Do you want me to go over some crypto stuff or indices? Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all decide. Cryptos or indices right now? Crypto wipe me out. Crypto, indices. Indices, oh, it's a tough one. It's a battle. Oh, indices taking over. All right, I think it's going to be indices today. Crypto made me a bag. Well, you know what? Why don't we do both? Trick question. All right, so we'll do both. Hey, we got Mike Tyson in the chat. What's up, Mike Tyson? So, all right, so take a look at this. Now, I spoke about this level back in at some point on somewhere it's probably somewhere on my YouTube. I'll have to find it. But here we had a giant push to the upside. So I can go looking for this. This had been sitting here since for like a year and a half. So let's see here. Here is where we had on the daily a massive push to the upside. We're talking about 3,700 plus pips from 44.4 and change to 48.25. And then right now we just saw this melt, right? So we saw something like this happen. We basically got something like this. So it was a massive, massive, massive push to the upside. And I think this is the daily, right? So this is not daily. Now, what did this do? This cleared liquidity. Big push up, market ranges back down. So I was clearly looking for the market to reverse in this area. But I know. But why did I hesitate? Or what else am I waiting for? Could there be another reason why I'm not quite in the swing cells yet? There you go. Now, let me show you. So now we did get a reversal off of here, for sure. For sure, for sure. And it actually, we got the market dropping over. So this mitigated already, this daily candle. This was mitigated. Goes up. As strong as it comes back down, now it's losing some steam. Okay. So what's up? What's up with Bitcoin? What do I think is going to happen? Well, when I look at Bitcoin in the 4 hour or the 1 hour, and I look at this here, do you guys think this looks like a distribution? Does this look like distribution to you? Does this look like there was an exchange of retail sellers or retail buyers to sellers? What do you guys think? I look at this and I feel like something's missing. Like I feel like there wasn't really enough money quite yet. Now, if we look at ETH's a different story. ETH gave us a distribution. This is as clean as can be. Clears the highs, comes back down, shows down here, spikes back up, fills in balance, plays off of resistance, sells off. People could have caught this sell. I wasn't looking at the markets. I was in the mountains, but this is clean. Now, when price basically dies, sweeps equal lows across the board, fills in balance, but then recovers right away. I look at this and I was like, all right, well, this quickly came back. Now we're starting to see the markets give us that good old, bearish patterns. So that's why I actually took a buy at this level of support. It was going to be here or here. Looks like it did go down a bit deeper. And now we're coming right back up. But here's why I bought crypto. Margin, not more for investing. It's because of one, I think we're going to get higher on Bitcoin. We didn't see Bitcoin distribute. We saw ETH distribute. But two, there's something called crypto cap. I'm about to get into indices, but there's something here called crypto market cap. And you can learn and you can see this, the overall market. You can see this zone. So let me show you. And so all of these key levels are playing out really nice. So first, we had these levels of support from the past. Usually the market struggles here. This is used as support. But we had a zone here. All right, here we had an area where the market needed to mitigate. It did. But then we had a bigger zone. So let me show you guys, and then we'll move on to indices. So here, inside of this, and let me see if I can zoom in, because this is May 4th, 5th. 6/7 of 2022. So let me show you guys what I'm seeing here. 05, say 05. We'll go there. Of 2022. Okay, so here we have price. Now, why did I draw this zone here? First of all, this here is where we see the price sweep the highs, then run these lows. So let me do this there, right? Sweeps these highs. We have not come back down to this. Now, this is all of crypto combined, not just Bitcoin, not ETH. This is like literally everything. Okay. And so I don't actually know why this is here. But basically, this clear liquidity right now. And anyways, so we got to get back down to here. Or back up to here. We're not there yet. So when I zoom into today's price action, we got a little bit more room to travel. Plus, when we look at the entire crypto market, the one thing that I see that's happening right now, especially, is this. As we saw price come crashing down, almost gave us lower lows, lost momentum. Came back down again, lost momentum. So these lows, prices over here right now are not sustainable. This is showing me that, okay, we might be making that next push up to here, that this is actually a reaccumulation. So that's why I see, and I look at this market, and I think we got a little bit more to go before some big reversals. So have some alerts here set up. What did this just tell me? So when the crypto market cap gets to this zone, 1.68 trillion, this is where I'm looking to see possible ideas for some sells. And price getting up to here, well, what could that do to Ethereum and everything else? It can keep pushing everything else a little bit higher. So to give you guys a good understanding, this is what I'm waiting for in the market. What's interesting about this is I don't know why on the daily it makes like this huge candle even higher, but on the 4-hour it doesn't do that. So this is what I'm waiting for once again. And also, guys, I think that FOMC could be the catalyst for a move like this. Like CPI, FOMC, tell me what other combination could really just send the market flying. I think FOMC may be the peak of this. If we go look back to May of 2022, and look at price over there, maybe we're seeing FOMC news events around those times. Let's see. May of 2022. Oh, well, you look at that. May 4th, 2022 was also FOMC. Huh. So the week of FOMC here, about a year and a half ago, was also where the market spiked up and then just didn't come back for a good 19 months. What does that mean for BTC and ETH? I think that means that we might see crypto spike one more time above the highs that we've seen. And then from there, we may be seeing the highs for a bit. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. So do I think we're going to get above here? Yeah, I think we are. And once price gets over here, then I'm selling and I'm gonna hold that sell for a couple months, I think. I could be wrong and I could change my mind. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. And so what I'll do is this. I'm gonna highlight what we have here. I do want to point out that we had FOMC here, May 2022, and that I think we're going to get FOMC here as well this week. Let's see what happens. What's today? FOMC December 13, 2023. Let's see. And then where can this take us? Isn't that the question? I think that we can go at least get back over here. We go really mega zoomed out. I still like these levels over here. We haven't closed them. Maybe I'm just tripping. All right. That's definitely a possibility. So let's see what happens. But here you have it, folks. Here's the crypto perspective. Here is total crypto market cap. Yeah. All right. And then let's wrap this up with a quick rundown on what indices are doing. And again, fair warning, indices, I can give you the higher time frame, I can give you the lower time frame. I actually really prefer trading small time frame indices over the big picture, at least for entries and exits. Macro, I mean, you can see it, but it is a little bit different. So US30 is, I mean, like 500 points shy of all-time highs. So US30 is cooking. Cooking right now. So let's look at, let's zoom in a little bit, see what's going on. I do have a zone drawn up here from way back. Talking way back. 2022. All right. Now, whether I sell here is going to be dependent also on what else is going on in the market, but looks like I have something drawn out here. January 5th, 2022. Wednesday 5th, January 5th, 2022. So this is about a good almost 2 years. Wednesday. I like looking at Wednesday prices. Whenever it's Wednesday, I'm at forms. Well, you look at that FOMC meeting minutes. Well, what do we have here? All right, let's see it then. Maybe indices will be fun this week too. So I look at this, and I'm seeing how indices are moving. And I'm zooming in a little bit more. We have FOMC that happens at 1 p.m. Central, and then you have the next move too. So yeah, FOMC happens, down it goes. So this is a giant zone that I have here. I think this is based off of there's this whole imbalance that maybe it wants to play off of. So anyways, yeah, I mean, there's a giant zone here. What I would do here is if you see distribution, you know, I'd probably look to sell something in this zone. So again, zooming out heavy, looking at the FOMC news from here. Yeah, you got January 5th meeting minutes, FOMC. Yeah, I mean, mitigating the same news that was created almost 2 years ago kind of makes sense. So what do we want to keep in mind when we're looking at US 30 and indices as a whole? They do like to move together. So I think shorts here, if Bitcoin is going to top out for at least for the time being, indices kind of do something similar, you know? So they kind of move relatively correlated. So I'll say, because this is a big area, you know, it's like 300 points. So find or wait for small time frame distribution. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. All right. And we'll look for shorts there. This might be the peak. You'll have a good idea of how long you can hold for just based on the way that it reverses. Um, yeah, let's see what happens. It's looking, markets are looking really interesting. And then we'll know a little more too once we have CPI tomorrow too. All right, so there's US 30. US 30, higher time frame. That's not even a small time frame, it's just a big time frame. Small time frame, you know, can we sneak our way into some buys here? Not really. In terms of NAS mitigated last week, so we got all this here. We can clean out. We're still working its way higher. NAS, I mean, everything's on a run right now. And then this is coming back to similarly, when we look at NAS, let me just clean this up here. NAS is approaching the highs of January 2022 as well. So you do have price approaching similar levels across the board. And we can see right now, NAS is actually kind of getting here first. You see that? NAS is currently right now sitting at the FOMC price action. So US 30 is actually lagging. Interesting. And then you have S&P that is sitting basically at the same exact areas. So yeah, I like that US 30 sell. I'll be honest with you. All right. I mean, with that being said, we went over dollar stuff. We went over metals, crypto, indices. That there's a lot more going on. Yeah. For example, let's go to this week. You have pound news, you have euro news, and I mean you got everything. What I will say is don't overwhelm yourself with the market this week. Trade what works around your schedule, trade what you're able to be present in, and that's what matters the most. There's so many opportunities. You don't need to forget to sleep for a whole week. Trade what makes sense, right? Trade what has the cleanest setups. Someone just said GBPUSD has a really clean setup. That's London session today. think I have something drawn up here. Yeah, I did. Nice. So, anyways, I'll let y'all dive into this stuff. That's it for me. Appreciate y'all for hopping on. I'm about to upload this here to YouTube so that anybody can rewatch this. And if I see something new, something different, I'll upload something else and I'll give you guys my insights. But yeah, keep it going. And if you do trade this week will test your emotions, your discipline. Probably the best week to journal of everything. All right. So I'll see y'all again. And then day 2 of the Smart Money Simplified Bootcamp is tomorrow and the rest of the week. See y'all there. Peace out.